Is anyone interested in doing a recap for inspiration?
Um, I might be. I'm gonna see if I got um notes. See what kind of notes I'm working with. I just need to find.
Pretty simple. We didn't really do much the scavenger hunt. Once
Okay.
I think you did what you did. I think some people talked to some people in the very beginning, and then it was pretty much the scavenger hunt after that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yop
Um.
and Krellick shook down
Probably,
uh,
yeah.
Kreb Shanker at the empty net. I went to Liru, passed the message to Kiara that Sanballat was on the loose. She said she would contact the prison in Seaton. Yumi and Dasani went around town and sort of planted everything for their scavenger hunt. Lucky went with Yop and Krellick. And then we came back for the scavenger hunt, which was done
Beautifully.
sort of forcefully on mind-altering substances, which were better for some individuals than others. And there was a scavenger hunt, and we all made it back to the ship at the end of the hunt. And somehow none of us murdered anyone, although it was close.
Or nobody died from overdose.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
That too.
That you
I
know
actually-
of.
well, we're getting con saves from everybody right off the top. And Yumi and Zashel and basically all of the crew have disadvantage on this con save.
But I only had 2.
Did you? You also
Yeah.
failed your save at the beginning.
Oh.
Yeah. And also, they poured a lot of stuff in these things.
Yeah, that's the thing. If these were just weed brownies, then okay, you have 2 and you're gonna be fucked up and it's gonna not feel great at a point. That's not all that was there. They specifically
Oh, yeah.
specified a random cocktail, which is terrifying.
Yeah.
I just
Although
love that exchange of, wait, I've only had 2. Yeah, but you already failed the con save at the beginning of it.
Toby,
Oh.
my dude, Toby. See, I'm telling you, losing the hobgoblins was no loss.
Ah! What the fuck? My computer's going crazy.
Ooh. Ooh.
It's like someone's in my computer right now. What the?
What?
Hold on.
Wait, that can't be Micah.
I know. My mouse is literally moving on its own.
That's
It is
not
on my
Micah.
computer.
Oh, there's something up with your mouse?
Yeah, sorry. Hold on.
You're good. That's Sunny and
Ha! I was double muted.
Missy.
Has a day passed since our team building exercise?
Correct.
Alright. I can be. I can be.
So
And-
this is the morning after.
This is that afternoon.
Oh,
Okay, so a day has not passed since
Correct.
the team building exercise.
Well, since Doug, you weren't here last week, right?
No, I was not.
Yeah, it's been a day since his last time he was here.
Bingo.
Micah got a 16.
What were we planning to do today?
that's my guy.
You know what? I'll be Autumn. Fuck it.
We don't have a plan, I think.
Well, it's downtime. We're doing downtime stuff, and then
Yep.
afterwards
Oh.
we're doing, whatever.
We're doing downtime stuff, but first we're dealing with the repercussions of the events of the day.
I was just pretty much saying, like, should it be summer or autumn? And I chose autumn.
I think that was a good pick, I'll be honest. Alright, who we got? Zashel, Yumi, Relic, Yup, Kars, and Dasani. Okay, alright, cool. Krellick and Zashel, and then Sunny and Missy. Fail your con saves. You are more or less incapacitated for the entire day. You are very, very ill, and you don't feel good. This is a really bad time. And if you want, there's lesser restoration available. Oh, actually, you cast lesser restoration on Missy. She's actually
I
good
did.
then. Yep, she's fine. If you'd like to do something to make yourself feel better, you're welcome to. But you're kind of out of commission for the day as far as any work you might need to do or want to do, or any really recreation you'd like to do. Everyone else is not doing great, but mechanically you're still capable of doing things. Sunny is going to go speak with Abernathy privately.
Oh, that seems like a bad idea.
Everyone else upon arriving, is there anything you would like to do or establish that you are doing before some other things happen today?
What's the indoor plumbing situation?
It is indoor plumbing on the bottom floor.
Yeah, only one restroom area.
Facility, yeah. Because technically this is a place that's designed to have one person in it at a time.
Okay. I run in, kick open the door. Is this facility equipped for something my size?
It is. It's actually quite a large room if you look at it. It's like 15 feet. It's like it's pretty big. It's room 14 on the first floor.
Okay, cool. I'll spend some time vomiting on the bathroom floor.
I just want to clarify before I burn my second spell slot. Have the other effects of the brownies worn off?
Yes, by now.
Okay, then yes, I will go ahead and burn my second spell slot to lesser restoration myself.
All right. How is Zashel doing? Like immediately upon regaining his senses.
Zashel is more than a little mortified at the moment. There's a lot of, oh god, I did that, didn't I? So he's gonna the first thing he's gonna start out doing is just sit down and write some letters of apology.
Aw, that's actually really sweet.
I mean, I busted into 2 council members' homes. That's more like I don't want to go to jail.
Yeah, it is. It is actually exactly that. But it's still like thoughtful. Anyone else want to specify anything?
Yop will be walking around very concerned about her compatriots that are not feeling well, and will be offering them hair of the dog.
Yeah, I asked for like the gnarliest liquor that we have.
That's some of Yop's bad wine. I'll go get some. Didn't work out right, but if you want some, go for it.
Yeah, for sure.
There's a whole barrel of this shit. We gotta figure out what to do with it.
It can't get any worse.
That's right, clean out your insides.
Once I have my letters done, I will short rest so that I get spell slots. And I think we're just down Krellick and Yumi, right? How's Lucky feeling?
Chipper. Tired. Okay. If there's nothing else anyone wants to make a point of, Sunny makes very brief rounds around the lighthouse. He just kind of pops his head like just to the first floor, anyone who happens to be around, and informs everyone that he is quitting, and then leaves.
I'd give him a thumbs up from the bathroom floor.
And let's see. So, like we said last week, this week we're doing some downtime activities. I have a couple of things that are going to be happening during that period. But let's go down a list and go through some of these things. Go through some of the ideas that people have and what they'd like to do. Adam, I've got your list of things. Most of them are pretty much handled. You spend time prepping some new, your casks of ale are finished brewing and are drinkable now. You can continue working privately on your secret special activity. If you would like to try to figure out if you would like to try to learn Thieves' Cant, that would take better part of 2 to 3 weeks of practice, and that's like heavy study. I would say actually, let's say it's I'll have you make an intelligence check. If you hit a certain DC, certain thresholds, I will cut down the amount of weeks it would take to become fluent. But for the purposes that that you're looking for it, you can at least finger spell within the first week, because most people can pick that up easily.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so I'll work on that as well, and just let me know when you want those intelligence checks.
Let's just get them right now, and I'll tell you how long it'll take. Okay, it'll take you 3 weeks to be able to communicate fluently, and then pass on the knowledge as you'd like to Missy.
Perfect.
Yeah, but in that
Damn
first...
you, Adam! You asshole!
Did I cause some trouble?
You motherfucker! That was exactly what I was gonna do. Tried to work out a language with Missy. Fuck you.
Well, unlike my other project, this I won't be keeping secret. Like, we can work on it together.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. If you'd like to, if you want to do that as well, absolutely make me an intelligence check, and we'll see how well Zashel can pick this up as well.
Hold the whole project back.
Well, and if we're practicing together,
Yeah.
shouldn't we both roll with advantage because we're helping each other? He said, hopefully.
That's not how this game works. Zashel, I'm going to hold that same stipulation. In that first week, you can finger spell, but it's going to take you the better part of 4 to 5 weeks before you feel before you are fluent. Because as some of you may remember, the verbal component, like the communicative component to Thieves' Cant is some variation of sign language. But then there's the written component that is a cipher, which is the part that you guys would have trouble picking up. But
That's
either
actually
way,
like the documents or specialties, ciphers.
that's true. Maybe this is just something that that Zashel understands better. The one aspect, but the practical the other part of it is just more challenging for him. Either way, both of you can eventually pick this up. Doug, you trying to say something?
Yeah, since we're coming besides 4 extra hours a night, I would also like to learn Thieves' Cant.
Is Yop holding classes now? Is that what's happening?
Sure, why not? Down
I mean,
the
Joe-
kitchen every morning.
I mean, I tried to do this with Dwarvish, so this is just it's pretty normal for guys. If he learns that someone else is like learning another language, he would definitely jump on it.
All right, and to be clear, that particularly because Adam has told me the purpose behind this is just the quote-unquote verbal aspect of Thieves' Cant. This is not the cipher, although because it is just a cipher, Zashel still has advantages to be able to translate them in theory if you find it again. Let's get an intelligence check from anyone who is actually interested in learning how to speak this language.
I would like to use my luck stone, and yes, I know that will fuck me up later.
Yes!
Worth it.
Is anyone else interested?
I love that I have 2 inspiration points, and I'm like, nah, Luckstone.
Okay. The both of you, it's going to take 3 weeks before you feel comfortable with the language. Anyone else? Okay. All right. So Yop is in the morning. I mean, Yop usually sleeps in. Does she wake herself up earlier to do this, or
Oh no, by morning I meant noon.
Gotcha. Cool. So in the early afternoon, within the next few days, within the first week, Yop is giving lessons to everyone in the lighthouse who's interested in learning. Toby and Micah and Abernathy and Missy are all there. No one's surprised to not see the Major, because he's, you never see him. Let's see. As far as the cost for the thing that you're interested in, Adam, that would be... Oh shoot, I gotta price the actual thing.
You gave it to me. It's further up in chat.
Oh, sick. Great. Cool,
Yeah,
cool.
I've already deducted it. We're good.
Cool. All right. And so, yeah. Is there anything else you'd like to establish or do in this time?
Nope. I'm basically just hanging out, and I'll play it by ear based on what everybody else is doing.
Cool. All right. Andrew, is there anything in the next about 10 days or so that Dasani is working on specifically or interested in doing?
Well, since we did all this team building the other day, or last time I stole from my garden, actually I was gonna go to my garden and check on my stuff.
Okay.
Be working on my garden.
Uh-huh. Can you make me... My brain. Let me see what skills you've got. Could you make me a survival check?
Sure.
Okay. So it has been really stormy the past few days, so the gardens have been more or less flooded, and a lot of things have become uprooted. However, not only are you a druid, but you are also a water genasi. It takes relatively little effort for you to be able to resuit the terrain towards gardening again. You've lost some of what you were growing, but you've not lost everything. It's cut down by about a third, whatever your yield might end up being.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Word.
Anything else? Any research you want to do, or people you want to talk to? Anything?
Not at this second. No, I'm good.
Hello?
Yep.
Oh.
All good. All right. Thank you. Doug, what's Vakaris up to?
Besides studying Thieves' Cant, I don't think he really has any downtime activities.
Did you finish the... Did you figure out the numbers stuff that you were working on, or do you need me to get that math for you?
I thought we had... Yeah, let's... I'll need the math.
Okay. So I wrote it all down because I imagined that you maybe did not write down the numbers I gave you when you sold a bunch of stuff to Zendros. And I copied it all for you, and I think it was...
I did... So I remember getting all the... Yeah, I got all the money from that, and then I paid... I'm pretty sure I took it out? Or have I not taken it out yet?
I don't know.
I know, right?
That's what I'm asking you.
Well, because it was one of two things, and I'll figure it out. But I either paid the gold and said, like, hey, flavor-wise, once we get to the lighthouse, it's gone. Or I was waiting to get to the lighthouse to take that stuff away. But I have a lot of gold, so it's probably the latter.
That sounds about right. And no rush, and I just wanted to make sure that you had the numbers all correct. And I couldn't remember if you had 8 kegs of brandy or if it were 12. But either way.
Mhm.
Okay. Anything else you would be doing? Things he's doing in town or not?
Not really, no.
Okay. Monkey. How's Yumi filling her time?
After her 24 plus hours of sleeping, I think she's going to go ask Krellick if he wants to help her hunt some crabs. And maybe help train our recruit by having them kill the crabs.
So, are you asking Krellick to come and help you hunt crabs, and then actually just making Toby and Micah do it?
Oh no, we would be fighting as well, but they would be practicing their aim as well. Like the 4 of us, yeah.
These 2 are excellent marksmen.
Well, they can
they're
get more
just-
experience killing things.
It's just
Not
their I mean, them dying has 100% more to do with the fact that they have low con than it does with their hunting ability.
We also need them to help drag the crabs back. They're heavy.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a combination training exercise, and
Because to me, it just sounded like it was being lazy.
I wasn't being lazy.
Well, like at its first, where it was, we're gonna go to Crabber's Grove and then make them do the work. But if not, that's fine.
Yeah, I mean, I figure like, we all pitch in, I mean, we make them do more of the work because they need more. Like, I can kill a crab on my own, technically. So we make them do a lot of the heavy lifting. But we don't want to make them die from a crab,
Mm-hmm.
Challenging, but safe.
Okay. Yumi, I need a charisma check from you. Okay. You can get Micah to go with you. Toby will not. Toby is going to stay behind and fill the role that has been emptied because Sunny quit.
Wait, Sunny quit? What did I miss? How
What?
long was I sleeping?
Oh.
Man, those brownies were really good. I should make more of them.
You were out for almost a full day.
Hey, do you think we could give these to? No, I'll talk to you later when. And then she kind of eyes Yop. Krellick, let's go.
Okay.
I didn't understand what that meant at all.
Have fun hunting the crabs.
Well, Yumi doesn't want to say anything that will get cut in the whisper jar.
Well,
Good luck talking to Yop then.
yeah.
Yeah, that's why I'm gonna tell Krellick my plan.
Are you gonna do that or no?
Yes. Hey, what if I just make a lot of brownies, carry them around, and whenever we have to fight people, I can just offer them brownies. Maybe I'll knock them out.
So you want to knock them out, and then shove a brownie in the mouth, and then they'll be
No. Have them eat the brownies so they pass out.
I mean, that could work. I think if they was trying to kill us, they're less likely to eat the brownies.
But there's a lot of bad people in town. What if we just trick them into eating the brownies before they think they need to fight us?
I think it's a very good idea. Do we have to keep eating them? Because I like to eat, but I vomited quite a bit.
I'll make you cookies next time. Safer cookies.
I see. Brownies no good, but the cookies are safe.
Yeah. Right. How many crabs do you think we can carry back? They're pretty big.
We can get like a. Do we own a cart? Does this acquisitions own a cart?
Not officially, but you can
Okay.
acquire a cart.
We go buy a cart because
All
there's
right.
a lot of crab meat to move.
That's 15 gold for a cart.
Sick. You mean you got the cash?
Do we need horses to pull the cart?
Not a wheelbarrow, no.
Okay, yeah. I'll pay the 15 gold.
And in that, these very large crabs, after, let me get, I want an attack roll. I want both of you to roll an attack roll for me, if you wouldn't mind.
Can I make it reckless for shenanigans?
Are you gonna rage and fight crabs?
Well, yeah. I mean, if I'm fighting crabs, of course.
Then sure.
He's gonna throw them over his shoulder. He's gonna flip them over. All the tackling.
Yeah. I think we're gonna go with a little axe action. It'd be reckless, so it'd be the 20.
Okay. Holy shit, Micah rolled a nat 20.
Training's paying off.
Sure. Okay. In this case, then, let me just roll a couple. Okay. You guys can bring in a total of 14 crabs, and that ends up totaling to be about. Oh god, calculate. Hope I don't.
That's a lot of crab.
It is a lot of crab.
crabs. Yeah.
Yeah.
How many crabs are left in the grove?
Oh, it's called Crabber's Grove because there's a lot of crabs. And also 14 crabs, like that's not really a whole lot. They're very big
You
though.
said they're giant crabs, though.
They
They're
are.
really big.
It's a lot of meat. That's the lot part, which ends up weighing.
You sure we can fit this all in one wheelbarrow?
Uh-huh.
Definitely.
175 pounds of meat. Well, of crab. That's not meat. That would
Gotta
require a
chuck it.
survival check. Yep.
Oh, hey, we can all sit down and shuck crab once we're far enough away where we don't get attacked. That's life skills, right, for Micah?
I'd rather be home with my wife if you're going to have me just shucking crab.
All right. I guess. Do you have any other ideas, Kralik? To train Micah, because I'm not good with training, and Yumi's gonna start shucking crabs. Training's all on you.
Okay. Well, if the crab killing is done, then we'll get them back to the lighthouse, and Micah, you and I are gonna lift. Every day is lifting day.
Okay.
Okay. Can you help me get the crab to town? I'm gonna see if I can find a place that'll let me cook and sell crab. Maybe the empty
yeah.
net. Do you think they have a lot of food there? Do you think they'd enjoy crab cakes?
Maybe.
You want to go to the...
shaking that dude down so many times.
Yeah, the idea that this is going to
That
work
guy
is
hates
asinine.
us.
Hey,
Yeah.
I haven't shaken the guy down. You guys have gone shaking the guy down, but Yumi hasn't been in there in a while because she's like, oh, we found his name on a list.
And so you want to go and use his kitchen?
Yes. So I can spy on the people that come in and out of that place.
That
And
is
also, if you'll recall, in one of our first adventures, one of our party members literally almost fucked this guy to death.
Yep. Totally fine. Let's go talk to this guy.
also that's not how like kitchens work and restaurants and it like you go to the empty net and this is the request that you like what you
Make,
asked
yes.
of Kreb, and he straight up tells you no and tells you to leave.
Sad. All right.
You see Lucky here though.
I kind of wave at her and I'll go talk to the merchants around here. See if anyone would be interested in crab cakes.
Okay, I'm going to spell this out for you. If you would like to find a kitchen to prepare food in, you are going to have to actually acquire an establishment. You can't just go to somebody's house or other operating kitchen and take their oven and stove.
I will ask if anyone wants to buy the crab meats once I learn that it is not possible.
It's not impossible. You're just going about it the wrong way.
Yumi doesn't understand this.
You
Does
Well,
anyone
I
want crab
I
meat?
just
Oh, I
spelled it out
know.
for you.
She doesn't- she still
why
doesn't
aren't you
understand.
using? Why aren't you cooking them at our place?
Because I don't want to take over Missy's kitchen for all of this.
Okay.
Also, we'd have to take it to the lighthouse, and once it's cooked, we have to take it all the way back. And then it's just not fresh.
Okay.
So you're not going to be working to acquire a shop, you're just trying to offload crab meat.
Some of it. I'm gonna cook some of it and eat it, but yes, I will try to offload about 12 crabs worth of crab meat, yeah.
Okay. Crab meat is not a delicacy or expensive here because you guys have a place called Crabber's Grove. Crab meat is pretty cheap. So you can get... Well, actually, why don't you roll me a persuasion check? Pretty good. Okay. You can get 8 gold for all of this, which is actually still quite a bit, just not as much as what you're used to earning. You can sell this at the market.
Alright, I will sell that at the market, take the remaining crab, and go home and cook them.
Cool. Is there anything else in downtime that Yumi is doing?
Working on my garden.
Okay.
And feeding the goats, making sure they don't eat any paperwork in Abernathy's room.
They are fully not allowed in the house.
You don't know goats.
I do know goats, and you don't know the major. These goats are not allowed in the house.
I will tie them up, hopefully they don't run away.
Where are they gonna
We're on
go?
an island.
I mean,
And they're tied, so
roll me a survival check for your gardening.
they could run inside the lighthouse, that's the thing, right?
Sorry, say that one more time.
I said they could run inside the lighthouse, that's the thing. Hence, I'm tying them up outside.
All right, a 3 for survival. Your garden is both entirely overgrown. You've been harvesting quite a bit from your kudzu, yeah. But it has choked out pretty much everything else that's growing.
Oh no,
and
the weed.
yeah, the weeds that the goats are going to be eating.
It's gonna get killed. Oh no.
No, Dasani's actually if I recall correctly, he has moved his garden away from yours specifically for this reason.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. You said it choked out everything else, so
Of your garden.
I didn't have anything else in my garden.
You had weeds and tubers.
So we're the weeds and tubers.
Was that all that it was? Because you said a variety. I have a variety in my notes.
Did, and then I gave up on them.
Okay. Well, it's all shit and mud here now. Okay. Anyway, you have a very challenging time. I mean, you've got Druidcraft, which helps, but you have a challenging time reviving this. It takes the better part of the week to get things growing the way that it should again, with the weather and all. Anything else for Yumi?
Nope.
Okay. And Krellick?
How long would it take to get to where I think that I'm from? Like where I was hatched.
The island?
Yeah.
Actually not super long, I don't think. Give me 1 second. Just Googling some things.
Yeah, sure. I don't know the distance in this place from where we are to any because I know it's near Seaton, but it's not near Seaton directly.
Yeah. It's about 150 miles.
I don't know how fast you can go on boat.
I have that written down too. I gotta find that. How many miles in a day a boat can travel. Fuck, I gotta find it. Give me a minute.
Yeah. I mean, because in a boat, depending on the speed, that's actually pretty far.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm trying to find that information for you.
No, you're okay. For the time that go on.
It would take about 6 days. 6 days on boat. Yep.
To get there, so that's it's too. I mean, it's too long, especially if I have a day or two in Crab City. Yeah, I think that's just too long. Plus, I'd have to either pay for travel or get enough people to run the boat, because you said it takes 3 people to run our boat.
I believe it's a minimum of 2, but 3. Yeah, taking the total that's even just the trip there would take another 6 days back.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's just combined there and back is just too. It's too long, unfortunately. So I will continue to ponder that occasionally throughout the week. But what I will do is in between assisting Yumi with whatever crab killing needs she has, and in the morning while I don't know if while everyone is waiting, I guess, for Yop to do her language classes, I would be training, and I would take either Micah or Toby, whoever wants to do it. Maybe Toby if Micah's getting training from the crabbing, right? So I would spend that's my time, but I'd be helping them when doing that in the mornings. And whenever Yop has free time, I'd like to occasionally have Yop, just run the basics again with the forge. I'm not good at it. I'm really just getting the basics of the hammering down. And I'd like to work with Missy to make sure that we're not living in a house of filth. That all the linens I have are good. I'll pick up any more that she requests. I would also like to purchase some hide, just straight leather hide.
How much?
I mean, I don't know because nowhere in 5th edition do they list out hide as a purchasable item.
Yeah, I can make something up depending on how much you want.
I mean, a significant amount because I'd want to be able to have access to it whenever I want it. Like 20, 30 pounds worth.
Okay. Yeah, there's a tanner in town, and she can get you a pretty good deal. We'll say...
Yeah, because it's, I mean, like a lot of like the equivalent stuff in the trade goods section. I mean, it's all super cheap. You know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't think that it would be you. Okay, when you say hide, are you talking like furs, pelts, or leather?
Leather. I have leather working tools. This is something that I would be functionally able to work with.
Okay. All right. Let me just get a reference.
Although
point.
technically, fur would be the same under the mechanics.
Yes, it is. Okay. I'll say you can drop, based on how much you want, and based on how much hide armor costs and at its current weight. We'll say for 9 gold you can get what you're looking for.
Sick, yeah. I'll give them 10.
Cool. She appreciates that.
Yeah. And I'll spend some time throughout the week working on fixing up the leather grips on my weapons, fixing up my my harness thing that I have. Just kind of doing general repair work for it, and then like checking with Missy of like, are there any chairs that need like the leathering restretched out? Like, can I help with anything here? Because Krellick likes getting dirty, but canonically he cleans himself. He likes a clean place. So he would like just to assist her in making the place look good.
All right, and one thing that you notice is, in truth, this place is very clean. But like the linens that you found, the fact of the matter is because of the damp here, there's very little linens that are kept. So what you found was what was like left and not in use, and that's why they were trash. But she absolutely would still take advantage of that assistance. A lot of this furniture has been rather recently replaced. In fact, she'll even tell you that Yumi at one point had replaced all of the mattresses and the furniture in the front room, and she can tell you this now since she can communicate a little more easily with everybody at this point.
Well, I don't speak whatever. If she's trying to do her signing, I don't know that.
I mean, she can still write messages, which is occasionally what she has done, but hasn't really had need to do to communicate with any of you guys as of yet. But if you are like seeking her out and it becomes apparent that you can't talk with her, she will write messages to you.
Okay, yeah, cool, absolutely.
Yeah.
I would ask her, and I guess it was Sunny's job, but I'll ask her, is there anything we can do about it? Like, this is a symptom we're treating. What's the problem? How do we fix the problem?
She takes you into the center of the lighthouse, to the stairwell, and opens a hatch that appears to be part of a dumbwaiter that has been in some use but isn't very often used. And then under the staircase, which is incredibly cramped for you, she indicates the spot where the water from often where the water runs should be going, but the earth is completely dry. The foundation is dry. And she just kind of shrugs. They don't know. They don't understand really what the problem is, but it's also just moist here. Like the air is humid in general.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. There's limited stuff you can do, but like you can help like clean mattresses and wash clothes and shit with her if you want.
Yeah, I mean, I'd help a little bit with that, but
Obviously it's her job, so why would you work too hard on it? Yeah.
Yeah. But her pointing that out specifically, because I know there was like drainage issues. Krellick, he don't know what to do about it. So he'll make note of it, and then make note to talk to Yop, who could probably devise something to fix the problem. So I would bring that to Yop's attention and say,
Yup, everything's fucked.
What's that now, Krellick?
Everything in here is completely fucked. Nothing's draining nowhere. Look, it's full of water.
So this is where the water is supposed to drain. How interesting. Well, let me... Oh, but look, it's all clogged with dirt and soot and whatnot. That's no good at all, Krellick. How long have you known about this?
I just found out.
Oh, well, it's good on you to bring it to my attention. Let me see what I can figure out down here. And, I have no idea what sort of check I'd make, but I would like to take a look and see if I can figure out, exactly the cause of the clog and start trying to devise a way to fix that problem.
Okay. What check is this? Make me a carpenter's tool check.
Since I'm looking at dirt and stone and whatnot, could I do it with mason's tools?
Yeah.
it's pretty good.
Since you asked so nice, yeah. Okay. So the problem that you've witnessed is, again, when it storms, water runs down the stairs and then sits at the bottom, like at the landing on the first floor, and just puddles. And then it should be leaking through floorboards, and it's not, because what is under the floorboards is clearly not wet or really has ever been touched by the elements. With the mason's tools, I'll say that what you can see is that this foundation is solid, sturdy, and unharmed by weathering.
Well, it looks like it's probably been this way for quite some time, because the problem is with the density of the foundation here. Look, this hard rock, there's never going to be much drainage. I do have an idea. Go, Zashel! And I'll go looking for Zashel.
Probably best to find him shortly after the lessons with Missy.
Oh, fair
Otherwise,
The space that they're showing us, is it big enough to like get into?
Not really for you and Yop necessarily.
And is it like full-on stone work, or is it like hard pack earth?
The center column that the stairs spiral around is stone, and the foundation appears to also be crafted stone.
Yeah, okay. So nothing that I could like dig into.
No.
Okay.
You grab Zashel, you bring him down.
Zashel, look at this. You know how we're constantly dealing with the water flowing down the stairs and it just sort of pooling here?
yeah.
Well, look. It's because it's supposed to be a drain here. They've made like a grate for a drain, but it just goes down to this solid rock foundation. That's no good at all.
True.
So yes, well, I was remembering when we were in that basement of that abbey that you've got some special magics that might help you manipulate some stones, yes?
If it's broken up a little, yes.
Well, what would we need to do to break it up enough so that you could perhaps use that magic to create just a small little channel to take the water away from the foundation of the building?
All right.
If
Reading
you
the
want me to move it, it would need to be broken up into practically soil. I suppose my real question is, we're trying to fix the drain at the bottom of the stairs, but why have the water drain through the lighthouse in the first place?
Well, I understand completely, and that's going to be the next step of my plan, to talk to the Major so we can investigate where the leak is coming from. But in any event, we are in a lighthouse on an island. I suspect that there's always going to be an issue with water in the building, and so having a functional drainage system seems like it would be a wise idea.
Fair point. If we break up this earth, I suppose.
Well, can't we just make a thing and it goes outside?
That I thought is what we were trying to do.
Yes, I believe that's exactly what we're trying to do, but it sounds like Zashel will need some assistance with breaking up some of this rock before he can create a channel to carry the water out from under the lighthouse. Is that correct, Zashel?
In this thing holding it all up?
Well, you see, there's the center post, and that is certainly what is holding up the majority of the weight of this lighthouse. And some of this other stone, yes, that's helping to carry the dispersed weight of the lighthouse. But all we're talking about is a small little channel in the rock for the water to flow through. We're not talking about digging up a 10-foot wide canal.
Yeah, just something so the water exits the building.
Okay, I mean, look, that's why I asked, you know how this stuff works. I mean, I can break something if you need it. But I figured, maybe you just put like a trough, and then we make, well, Sonny's not here. I was make him bucket it, but...
Yes, well, you've got the idea entirely. Making a trough is exactly what we're talking about. But we're talking about making that trough carry the water out from under the building. So it would be a trough that extends out beyond the foundation of the building so that we don't have to have a bucket brigade.
Okay.
Do you think you would be able to assist Zashel here in breaking up some rock so that he can help move it and shape it so that we have a nice small channel to carry the water?
I quite literally have all the time in the day.
And just for clarification, I need you to do all the rock breaking because I am probably not really capable of that.
I flex.
I will pull Zashel outside of Krellick's earshot. Just make sure he doesn't get too enthusiastic. The lighthouse does rest on this foundation. We can't have him breaking it all up, and I know how excited he gets sometimes.
I thought you were going to watch him. I need to do some things.
Oh, well, I was going to go talk to the Major about the leak.
There's the sound of breaking things.
Of course there is.
Maybe if we draw, like, on the foundation exactly how wide of a space he needs to break up.
Well, that's not a bad... Oh, no, wait, not there, Krellick, hold on. Maybe I'll just go talk to the Major later.
I've got to make it big enough for me to get in.
What? No.
No, that's way too large, Krellick, hold on.
Well, it's still small for me, okay?
Well, no, I understand, but we can't have it. Hold on. Zashel, why don't you take care of whatever you need to, and Kralik and I will keep an eye on this particular issue. Thank you. And I will,
luck.
right, I will attempt to instruct Kralik that we're talking about, like, breaking up a rock enough for, like, a, 3-inch deep, 3-inch
3-inch
wide
pipe,
channel.
You want precision?
Well, it doesn't have to be 3 inches wide, but it also doesn't have to be wide enough to fit Kralik.
Well, I was breaking the hole for me to get down in the thing, you know?
Right. There's a big difference between
There's a
those
big hole in the
two
floor
ranges.
right now. Look, I needed to make a problem to fix a problem.
I got you.
Yeah, if you would like to... Okay, so there's a couple ways we can do this. We can just have a strength check from Kralik. With no help from Yop, because this would be just, because I feel like it's more challenging for him to have to take an order than it is to just be anything else. Or Yop, you can do this. You can do the check if you want to use Mason's tools.
Kralik, hold on 1 second, Kralik, hold on. Why don't we do this? Why don't I try marking out and cutting a little with my precision tools here, and then you can help both move some of that stuff out of the way, and then use where I've cut as more of a guide to break the rest of the rock.
Okay.
Perfect. I'm certain this won't cause the lighthouse to topple over on all of us.
Okay.
You know what? I'm going to use inspiration on that.
Okay. Oh, that's much better. That's much
That's
better. You have a
better.
+8 to that. That would have been sad.
Yeah.
Okay. With time, focus, and patience, you can carve out enough of a path and a channel that should lead this water, if it were falling down here to the foundations, out. But it is still not quite there. It's still above. It still sits above this foundation. There's got to be a way. You'd have to probably either pull floorboard or something in order to actually cause a real drain to get it to come down here and then out. And then with I think it's easy to say with mold earth, because after you pass the foundation, just mold earth out into the garden more or less, or into the yard.
Ooh, into the garden sounds lovely.
And that would allow it to channel out from there.
Kralik, I think we've done a wonderful job. What do you say that with our practice with the smith tools, we create some sort of grate to lay over this so that the water can flow into it more easily?
Okay. Who's gonna fix the floor? 'Cause I made it real big.
Well, we are. That's what we're making the grate for.
I see. Very smart you are.
Now let me, in the meantime, I'll just put this chain up here and a little sign that says, do not enter.
But how are we gonna enter?
Well, you and we can ignore the sign.
I give you a knowing look.
I give the knowing look and nod right back at you.
Okay. In this case, either Yop, you can make the smith's check, or Kralik can make it with advantage.
I don't have like smith's tools or anything like that, so
Yep.
I could assist Yop if possible, but I don't think that I really can.
See, that's the thing, is you couldn't offer the help action, but you could still make a strength check to do the crafting. You would have advantage because Yop would be helping you, or Yop could just make the check herself, and you would be there to assist, but you can't offer the help action.
Hey, I'd like to make a shitty grate.
Yes, why don't this will be your first commissioned piece of work, Kralik.
Oh boy, okay, that's a lot of pressure. Hmm.
No, you're gonna do great. Just right there. No, heat that part a little bit more.
So what would you like me to roll, Sarah?
I will allow you to use strength for this skill, and you have advantage.
Okay, so just a strength check.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you got it. A very good teacher.
That is very
Oh,
good
it's
teacher.
lovely, Kralik. You did a wonderful job.
The measurements have been taken appropriately, everything fits and locks, and when you set it into place and put your weight onto it, you feel confident that not even a turtle could break this.
Well, I mean, you did most of it, yup. You know, I just kind of banged it together.
Well, it's not true at all, Kralik. You worked very hard, both on the grate and helping me clear out this channel. This is definitely teamwork.
Yeah, I feel good. I feel like we made real progress here. Hey, I had a strange thought while we was doing this here.
What's that?
What if there's something under the lighthouse?
You know, they lived here for quite a while, quite a bit now, and I don't recall ever exploring under the lighthouse.
Maybe we could swim around a bit of the island. Maybe look if there's some kind of cave or something.
I think that's a wonderful idea. You know who should probably come with us? I've had some very fine underwater adventures with Dasani.
I was thinking the same thing. I mean, he's like made of water, right?
That's right. Well, great minds, Kralik. Dasani!
Does he hear them?
Yeah, they find you.
What's going on, dude and dudette?
Sonny, we think there might be a hidden cave under the lighthouse.
Is there like treasure?
Well, that would be something we'd have to find the hidden cave before we could find that out. Isn't that true?
Sounds righteous. I'm so in.
Hell yeah.
The three of you guys are going on an underwater spelunk.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's what we've done with ourselves.
Wait, I want to play now.
Sorry,
No,
I'm
you cannot be near any water.
slightly surprised you didn't ask Lucky as well, because she's also made of water.
Ooh.
You
Yeah,
should
is
just bring it up
Lucky
to everyone and let them decide.
Oh, you can't breathe on the water. You
I
don't-
mean,
fine.
if Dasani wants to ask another a lady water friend, you know, then
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to speak for Kralik, but at least from Yop's perspective, there's no plan here. This isn't thought out at all. This is all just Kralik bringing it up, her being like, yeah, let's check it out. I knew. Like, last time I was underwater doing stuff, I was with Dasani. Let's go get him. That's the extent of it.
Works for me.
yeah.
Adventure time.
Let's go. Just the three of us. It's fine. I'll cast light to make sure we can see, you know.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll bring Bakaris.
Who said that?
Dasani just starts following Yop and Zashel and just goes, "We're going on an adventure!" And he's just screaming and like going down and running up and down. Maybe somebody hears him.
Enter, you say.
Dude, we're going on an adventure.
It's not.
For some buried treasure.
Vikaris will put down his thieves' camp book.
Cool. All right. So the four of you.
Yes. Only
Okay.
technically metagaming.
It's fine. You're all. It's a small space.
It, I would ask, and then once I find out they're going underwater, I'd go back to gardening.
And I can't imagine that, like, quiet is really an adjective that would be used to describe any endeavor that starts with Krellick and Yop.
And then adds in Dasani.
Yeah, once the four of
And
us really
Vakar.
going to go. Yeah.
At least we're underwater, so nothing can be set on fire.
That you know
Guys,
of.
I specifically chose not to be Summer today. Okay.
Feeling very attacked.
I feel like we're wasting Autumn. I don't use him that frequently.
That's true. Okay. The four of you, I'm assuming after after Vicaris casts water breathing on himself or alters shape. Is that what it is?
Alter self, yeah.
Alter self. To give himself gills, all four of you, hop over the side of the island, and what is the Jesus God?
I cannot.
I forgot that was the gift. Hop over the side of the island and begin to explore the to explore the area. Can I get investigation checks from all of you?
I should have disadvantage, right?
Yes, you have disadvantage.
I love that I did this to myself.
You should have
Oh.
disadvantage simply because of that GIF.
And there it is.
Oh, God damn it.
Fuck.
Good job, everybody else.
Yeah, right.
So you
Yeah.
can see that this island is still pretty well crafted onto the coastal shelf and leans and is pulled almost. It may have very well been pulled from the earth by magic to kind of create this spire, more or less, for the island that eventually reaches back to the shore of Salt Marsh, and you can see that even from where you are. However, most of you don't discover anything particularly odd. Yop and Dasani feel very confident in their investigation, in their exploration. There doesn't appear to be some sort of underwater cave or anything here. This seems, again, just like a solid piece of stone.
Any interesting shipwrecks or anything around the lighthouse?
Not around the lighthouse. I mean, there's still some like stone and some what would be considered dangerous sailing terrain here, but not terribly.
So what you're telling me is no ships have destroyed themselves on the rocks by the giant building that's sole existence is to prevent ships from doing that?
Aye, correct.
Right. All right, well, Yop will motion towards the surface and then swim up.
And
All right.
Dasani follows.
Really, not that it wasn't a lovely swim, but I must admit I'm a little disappointed that there wasn't anything more interesting down there than just some rock.
And no buried treasure.
Not this time, but I'm sure we will find treasure on one of our next adventures. It just would have been nice if one was a little closer to home.
Yeah, it would have been pretty cool if there was like some kind of secret under here.
All right. So after all of that, all of the little bit of home improvement projects, a little bit of exploration, Kralik, is there any other possible things that you need to take care of?
I mean,
You did a lot.
It turned into quite a bit
Yeah.
for not really having a plan. So I like that a lot. The only other thing I would do is I would use speak with animals to talk to my boy Rage Fang, the battle goose, and see how the geese are doing. Like how are they faring? Are they happy? Do they need anything?
They don't need for anything because anything they want, they take.
Yes. Yes. Then in that case, I tell Rage Fang,
I love you so much.
Isn't this what happens right before Krellick eats an animal?
Often.
are you,
For
not- are you-
dinner, goose.
Technically, we still have a lot of goose that weren't named that survived, so we do have all those goose.
I mean, it is slowly counting down because these are livestock that Missy is using to make for using for dinner.
Except for the one we named, right?
Sure.
Right. I put a color on it that says duck, do not eat me.
Yeah. Rage Fang's easy to tell because I've decorated him with the bones of his enemies.
He wears it with pride.
But that's more than enough that Krellick got to do.
Yeah. Okay. Zashel, Ted, got any other things you need to do?
Other than the lessons with Yop and Missy, Zashel will probably be spending most of his time in town. One of the things that I wanted to look into was the any sort of official records of this tower that Lero had brought up, and we had heard from another source. Basically looking for, like, the county records of the floor plan, the provenance of the building, all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
I'd also like to gather as much information as I can from people on Keldok. I wrote it.
Keldek?
Keldek, that's it.
Yep. Okay, cool.
He won't be named, but,
Mhm.
Zashel will quite happily say his name, because come on. It's a person.
All right, so a couple of things happen, especially if you're spending a lot of time in town. This makes it a little bit easier. Eleander tracks you down at some point. He manages to get a hold of you, whether that be at the lighthouse or happening to see you in town for whatever reason. And he says, he politely explains, like, he actually very much appreciates the apology letter, but he says, in all fairness, what happened was technically, well, breaking the law, and I feel as if I've done plenty of favors for you, and particularly...
I'm sorry. Which part was breaking the law exactly?
Well, you did.
Oh,
come
what I
into
did.
my
Yes.
home.
Okay, understood.
Yes.
No, carry on.
I'm sorry. Yes, you came into my house uninvited and made quite a scene. Now I'd consider ourselves at least good business partners, if nothing else. And in which case I'd like to be able to continue working professionally with you. I also would prefer if this were not seen as favoritism. I wouldn't mind if perhaps if you could maybe provide a little bit that I could offer to my housekeeper so that she could take some leave. Startled her quite deeply.
Oh yeah, that was the other thing I forgot I wanted to do. Like, Yumi, you're a human. What can I give to people that says I'm sorry that's not just straight up money so I don't look like I'm buying forgiveness? I completely forgot to do that. So yeah, she needs a vacation. Sounds good.
You guys can talk for a minute. We'll say like 15 gold. That'll cover her. That'll cover like anything that was broken, and then some time off, and then a temporary rehire.
Done.
Yeah, okay. And as far as the Tower of Xenopus, what you can learn... Actually, roll investigation.
I'm trained and I have a decent intelligence mod. So I'm gonna roll.
Ooh! Good work, Ted. Okay. What you learn by speaking with locals and perhaps pulling some resources that you have access to, this tower predates Saltmarsh by some time. In fact, most people here don't ever recall a point where it was a fully made tower. It always has been dilapidated. It was for a short period a site where people buried the dead. Until the Temple of Procon was properly constructed and the grave site there was dedicated. As such, there is rumor that there is likely undead that can rise in the area because it has not been dedicated ground. This place is I mean it's a little ways away from Salt. I wonder if I've got it on the map. Let me see. On the regional map. Oh, sweet, I do. Hold on. Right here. We've got... Right here. Not too far from Saltmarsh. Couple of miles. Now, sorry, I'm trying to think. Punketta is more than happy to go and give it a peek, considering that the Alchemist's Tower, which had also been abandoned, was fine. And this is something that Liru is comfortable with, especially because she can, if need be, Liru can scry to make sure that everything is okay. So Punketta is happy to go ahead and scout, if that is, yeah, that's not a problem. To learn more.
Just remember, first sign of danger, you leave.
Yep, no problem. Not a problem. And I think that's pretty much everything you can learn about that place without going there yourself or waiting for her to get back. And it might be a little bit. She's very short. Yeah. As far as Kaldek the Unspoken, so the rumors around this guy more or less boil down to, if you speak his name, speaking his name can summon his familiar that can spy on you invisibly. So most people just don't do that because they're afraid of being spied upon. He's not an old instatement in the town at all. Like, he's been... Him moving here is more recent than... Well, no. He would have moved here after Eleander, and Eleander moved here basically at the beginning of the expansion of the Empire a few years ago. So Kaldek's only been here maybe 8 years, perhaps a little bit longer than that. He seems to be, from what you can learn, he's a diviner, and sells spells, and can enchant items. However, he's expensive. In truth, though, very few people within the area need enchantments. Like, priority is they'll go to the temple, then they would check out Kaldek, and then they would go to Zendros. He is still preferred by the population to Zendros. He's been known on occasion to hire folks to go and collect occasional expensive components for him, or to assist in do small quests to acquire things that he needs. And of course, just the reminder, he was actually the one who hired the last franchise, the Leap franchise, to explore the Tower of Xenopus for him. Specifically to clear it of goblins. think that's pretty much all I can give you, unless you want to go and talk to the guy yourself.
No. Do I? What's the range on these circles of sound?
There ain't one.
Oh, that's right. It's 70. I would check with Zendros first. I feel like as somebody in relatively the same line of business, she might have some extra dirt, and then I probably will go speak to Keldek myself.
She tells you that she is sold to him on occasion. There's been small trade in items between the two of them because he is a much more powerful caster than her, as she understands it. However, she'll even comment on his character. He seems a decent enough fellow, but he really likes his privacy, and he does not speak often. He is called the Unspoken not only because few people speak of him, but because he himself speaks rarely. But she finds him to be decent in business, and that's what she cares about. Make a persuasion check for me, Zashel.
Oh, I am dying tonight, everybody. I just want you to know.
2 nat 20s in a row. That's exciting.
Hey, don't sell yourself short. You could die on Monday.
I don't think. Well, I guess Ashel could die on Monday, but that'd just be weird.
No, I mean, like, when we have good rolls on Thursday, that means our Monday game's gonna be trash.
Good point.
And vice versa.
She tells you, "No, I don't like to speak terribly ill of competitors. I feel it a little distasteful. However, I understand that he has a few, should we say, unsavory acquaintances, and this is coming from myself." And she gestures at her chest. She says, "He is more than friendly with the councilman Primewater, who has a reputation within the city. I don't know exactly what role it is that perhaps someone of his power and influence might have to deal with the Primewater, but I know that having either of them being in dealings with one another is good for basically just the two of them."
So, do you have any idea? I guess you don't have any idea what the specific circumstances of their arrangement is, but would it be possible that this Keldek fellow is purchasing items of a questionable provenance from Primewater?
It is possible. A mage of his capabilities often needs very expensive materials, things that take time even for me to acquire.
I suppose he doesn't receive many visitors at his tower here.
He has guesting quarters on at the first floor. There is a building attached to the tower where he receives guests, though he rarely sees them in person unless they are people of interest. I have only had the occasion to have been such a person only once. Suspicious people wizards.
I only have one real frame of reference, so... Well, I suppose I will see if he's in a receiving social mood.
So you head out there?
Yep. I will head out to Kildeck's tower?
Okay.
House?
It's a small one-level building which built into it and not looking out of place is a tower about 3 stories tall. And coming up the path, you can note marks and alarms, signals. This place is not
I'll have the
warded.
tech magic up.
Yeah, this place isn't necessarily what I would say considered warded, which means it prevents people from entering, but it absolutely lets him know when people are passing through the gardens to the door. And before you can knock, the door opens. And
I
inside...
will have a Quetzal on my shoulder.
Okay. Inside, there is a receiving room that is decorated exactly to house guests, as it appears, but there is a very... what's the word? It's very misused, or underused, I should say. And upon entering, similarly actually to when you enter the lighthouse, the fire in the fireplace ignites. Above the fireplace, above the mantle, is a black mirror glass, which glows with, there's magic everywhere, so it's hard to exactly indicate everything perfectly. But I believe this would be, I believe this is just a divination, or else a conjuration, where an image of a gentleman who appears to be very tall, very thin, with leathery skin and a shaved head and a long black beard, is he slowly turns to face you and says, I believe I understand your name to be Zashel, is that correct?
Do I have the pleasure of speaking with Keldeck the Unspoken?
The image nods.
I am indeed Zashel. I represent... well, I'm not here actually representing the franchise, the Lighthouse franchise of Acquisitions Incorporated at the moment, although I am here with a few questions, if you have the time.
I do. Please sit, and a chair moves to accommodate you.
I will sit down. Thank you. We have been tasked by head office with the retrieval of a former franchise, a former Acquisitions Incorporated employee who is delinquent on several thousand gold worth of fees that he owes to the organization. I am to understand that he has trained under you before. You are probably familiar with Reed Lowe.
The image nods.
He was recently to be sent to Seaton, but apparently never made it. I am assuming that you are aware of this. You seem to be the type that would keep tabs on students.
He nods again.
I will not bother asking if you know where he is, since I am not... I suppose, just getting down right to business, the question becomes whether our business with your former student will necessitate conflict with your person. We would hope to avoid that, but I know that there are certain student teacher what's the word I'm looking for here?
Bonds?
No, although I suppose that will do. Guardianship, but there are some teachers who feel a certain protectiveness of all their students.
It is rarely within the wizard's best interest to tie themselves so critically to something that could potentially drown them.
So then you feel no attachment to your previous student.
I wouldn't
least-
say no attachment.
At least not enough that our attempts to return him to head office would be something that would catch your attention.
It might.
Might. That is surprisingly unspecific.
The image very slowly blinks.
I also understand you previously hired the former franchise here to clean out to remove a goblin infestation from the Tower of Xenopus outside of Saltmarsh proper.
You understand correct.
Was that particular task carried out to your satisfaction?
Indeed.
And was that simply, if you will save me the trouble of combing through head office records, was that simply to retrieve a particular item, or have you taken up residence in said tower? We will, of course, have the contract within the archives at head office.
There are things of interest within that tower that I am yet still discovering.
So you still go to the tower then?
In a manner
Or
of
do you-
speaking.
I am simply trying to understand the exact status of the tower with regard to your interests and the interests of Saltmarsh in general. There is another interested party, with certain, I don't want to say designs, but intents on the tower. I am trying to make sure that before we accept any sort of work on this person's behalf, that we are fully cognizant of any, what is the phrase, feathers we might ruffle.
It would prove in your own interest, as you are seeking, as you have been investigating, should we say, these interested parties. For your own safety, perhaps it is best that you ignore the tower's existence. And forget about the little one. The gnome you worked quite hard to save. I believe that might be more than a little trouble she has run into since she has left.
Satchel sort of sits back in the chair. If you are saying or suggesting that you have laid claim to the tower and that anyone who might poke around is at risk to you, I would simply request that my employee who is there at my, as you said, my bidding, although I would never use that word normally, simply be allowed to return. This was she was dispatched before I even thought to speak with you, or even thought to discuss the tower at all with you. Had I realized that you still staked your claim there, I would not have sent her. And there are other matters here with which she is still able to assist. If she has not actually reached the tower already, I can make certain to have her return immediately and avoid the tower itself.
I appreciate the negotiation attempt to make now. However, this extended a little beyond myself, and you have indicated quite astutely connections that I must consider. Relationships and such. She is there. She is safe. But she will not be.
But she will not, you cut out.
Be leaving.
Is it your intention to directly interfere with her return, or are you simply stating that there are elements there which will prevent such an action?
There is both mystery of the tower itself and interested parties who have vested involvement with her not returning to Saltmarsh and to that person that you are often visiting. That creature.
You are aware then of the mission with which I assist?
In a fashion. I don't find it disagreeable. But I also have made my alliance. Either it be that the creatures that you seek to influence align themselves with myself and my allies, or we are enemies.
And those allies are...
I believe you know who they are.
I am afraid you will have to indulge me here. There are several institutions of whom we have run afoul recently.
I have noticed. They call themselves the Scarlet Brotherhood, and the name has been bandied about amongst yourself and your companions for some time now. They have not... This action has not gone unnoticed. I understand that some time ago, an acquaintance of mine left a warning. I believe rather than sacrifice his hold in the council, he has elected to simply take your employee.
He's keeping her alive then as hostage. That's what I to understand.
He nods.
I wish I could say that this would be enough to prevent the rest of my organization from continuing to interfere, but the fact is that I hired her outside the auspices of our organization. So while the leverage might bear weight on myself, although I think you and I both know with what I am that that sort of thing does not really exist.
He nods.
It will have no impact on the others. And so if your companion, your friends, your acquaintance, whatever term you use, hopes that holding her will be enough to forestall an active investigation, I'm afraid he continues to misunderstand the situation.
Perhaps, but I don't. Your friend, the one that you hired this small wizard for in the first place, she may not be as, should we say, insensitive.
I don't know that I actually take your meaning there.
You shall see. and the mirror goes dark.
All right. Slightly rude, but I will stand up and I will leave. I will slowly walk down the path, and then once I am out of visible range of the tower, I will haul ass.
Where to?
Oh, straight to Lyra's first.
Okay. All right, you arrive there in a huff. She seems concerned at your exuberance. Is everything okay?
No, everything is actually not okay at all. Very wrong. I will basically just go down exactly what our conversation was.
She blanches. She is terrified, and as soon as you finish explaining, she goes to a shelf and begins sifting through some of the tchotchkes and trinkets on the walls, and pulls a crystal ball, which she sets down and puts her hands to. Her eyes go blank for a moment as the crystal glows, and after a moment she comes back and says, she's gone. I can't see her. She's gone. Is there something blocking?
Yes, I am aware of where she is and circumstances. I came here
Yes.
because you need to leave. You need to get out of town until
Yes.
this is dealt with.
Yes, okay. Yes, okay. Give me a few minutes. And she begins collecting some things and says, I will tell you where I am. I'll tell you where I am. And puts a hand on your shoulder and then hugs you really tight and then runs out the door.
I'm going to go ahead and take that as acceptance of this contract, and I will have a contract printed out from my documenter case, and I will sign it as the hiring party.
I love that. Okay. On your way back to the lighthouse at some point, yeah?
Yep.
You are...
I will, as I am on my way back, I believe I have one of the circles of sound.
Uh-huh.
I will whisper into it. I forget who has the other one. Yop has one, and Dasani has one.
Mhm.
Dasani, Yop, we have a job. I also have some rather important information. If you will get everyone together, I will meet you as soon as possible.
Right on top of that, dude. Over and out.
And we may have some important information about what may or may not be under the lighthouse.
You make it back to the docks, Zashel, where the turtle shell is ported for a while, and as you are boarding and then telling Toby and Micah that we have to get moving, Micah kind of stops and says, "We have someone who needed to come with us. I hope that's." I assumed he was carrying all the right papers and everything. And from below deck steps a short, high elf with white hair that is tied back in a bun, with some marks across his face, and fit leathers. And he says, hello. Sorry, it's this is kind of unexpected. I know I wasn't announced, but I have the proper identification. And he begins digging through a book, a satchel on his side that is marked with the A and I of Acquisitions Incorporated. And...
Oh, you're from head office.
Correct, yes. Hello.
Okay. I was about to have you thrown off the boat, but now that I understand the situation better, I apologize. Toby, Micah, let's go. We can deal with this at the franchise offices.
Excellent.
In proper order.
Excellent. My name is Hamir. And with that, you guys head back. We're going to take our 10, and we'll get back with everyone arriving at the lighthouse. You guys can have whatever conversations you need to be having, and then questing time.
And this is timeline-wise, the end of the downtime. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And is this the 10th day, or is this the 11th day?
We'll say 10th. All right. I'll be AFK for a minute.
Cool.
All right. The turtle shell comes careening back into port at the lighthouse. Ted, I'll give it to you as to what you want to do.
Oh, I will immediately guide Hamir into the antechamber where we always receive visitors, and I will go ahead and just as we are walking through the door, Yop, Dasani, Krellik, Yumi, we have a guest from head office. We should all definitely hear what they have to say and not worry about literally anything else right now.
Okay, well, it's easy not to worry about anything else. It turns out there's nothing under the lighthouse.
Yeah, but maybe next time we look, there will be.
Yeah, yes, fantastic stuff. Everybody, this is Hamir.
Pleasure to meet you all. Hello. Is this everyone?
Should we? Do you want us to bring in the interns and the temporary hires, or do you just want actual franchise staff? Abernathy, you should probably. Lucklin. We have a visitor from head office.
Hello, everyone. My name is Hamir Fethra. I am a denizen from head office. I am here in regards to a couple of interesting notes that we've received from some recently filed paperwork. And as such, there's been some, should we say, concerns. Mild concerns. I feel as if you've all performed rather well in your various tasks to a degree. However, there is still concern about perhaps the functionality of this group and its ability to work as a cohesive team and reflect properly and decently on the franchise and, by extension, the company at its whole. As such, I have been tasked with monitoring you all for a few days and watching your particular avenues of exploration and, more specifically, the methods of your acquiring and also, very importantly, your teamwork. So I'm curious, has there been recently any developing jobs, commissions, or contracts in the foreseeable horizon?
Well, we do currently have a request from head office, from Jim Dark Magic himself, to retrieve one former employee, not of this franchise, of a previous franchise, funds owed to head office for prior work.
Yes, I'm familiar with this particular request. And do you have a means or...
Exactly how familiar, if you don't mind my asking?
Well, it's not terribly infrequent that employees feign their death in order to work their way out of a contract. However, that's not exactly how it works. We've had an understanding that the person known as Reedlow has been alive for some time. However, his debts were paid, so it didn't cause per se an issue until he's been performing as unsavory as he has been arrested and seems to have evaded arrest, and then still has an outstanding balance as it turns out. So it became head office's it came to the interest of head office to resolve the issue once and for all, and one way of doing so is to, well, entirely terminate the outstanding individual.
So to be clear, the contract isn't so much to capture Reedlow as it is to kill Reedlow.
It could be interpreted either way.
Well, we don't really like interpreting contracts, Zashel least of all.
He looks over at Zashel with the brow raised.
What?
It seems like a contract is an odd place for a gray area.
On the contrary, it's the perfect area for a gray area.
It's more a concern. The option presented in the initial communique from Mr. Dark Magic was that we were to definitively bring the man in alive. There was no flexibility within the language that was originally sent to me via my documents case. Not my documents case, via the letter through Abernathy. If the contract has been updated, I certainly haven't seen a more recent filing superseding the previous communication.
He pauses for a moment before going into his bag, retrieving a clipboard and a pen, and then also handing you a piece of paper, which appears to be an amendment that is then indicated not signed. This is signed by some positioned obviator.
I just reread my thing.
Some high-positioned obviator that this is that it is more important that the outstanding be no longer outstanding, the methods of which are left entirely up to you. As it happens, as a franchise, this is actually a wonderful opportunity for my presence. I get to understand a little bit more about how it is you all properly handle such tasks and the decision-making that goes into the methodology. Which one of you here is the decisionist, Dasani?
That'd be me, dude.
I see. And how do you feel about eliminating this threat in as permanent a solution as possible?
Like killing people? And he looks over. This questionable look on his face.
Correct.
Well, what kind of people?
Dasani was not yet a part of our organization when we initially ran into the individual in question.
He doesn't say anything and just notes something on the clipboard. As it is, I appreciate you offering me a platform so I can introduce myself, but I yield the floor to whatever sort of proper business matters may need to be addressed amongst the company. Don't mind me, I will just be listening. And he leans against the wall with a pen in hand.
Sort of on that front, I had the opportunity to speak to several individuals in town. Missy, you can return to this is
She nods and does quickly scurries out of the very crowded room.
No, it's not that I was like trying to be rude, but I mean,
No, she hates crowds too.
well, no, it's more that she's an intern. She doesn't need to be here while we're literally plotting to murder some people.
Yeah. She also just doesn't want to be here.
How is she gonna learn if she's not here for the planning phase?
Hopefully she doesn't, is Zashel's thought. Unlike Sunny, Missy seems to have no real drive to become an adventurer in the sort of stuff we do. I'm still kind of curious where Sunny went, but Zashel will look at everyone. So I had opportunity to speak to several people in town, Zendros and some others. We know that the man in town that served as Reedlow's previous mentor. Abernathy, is the lighthouse protected against scrying?
Not to my knowledge.
Better not risk it then. We know the individual who was Sanballat Reedlow's previous mentor. We know that this individual has a specific interest in the Tower of Xenopus outside of Saltmarsh, and I have reason to believe that this individual is also, or should also be on the list of members of the Scarlet Brotherhood. If he's not a member directly, he is at least aligned with their interests and allied with multiple individuals within that organization, including one Scaran Wave Chaser. We, through several methods, know that Scaran Wave Chaser is currently hiding out at the Tower of Xenopus. This leads me, at least, to suspect that Reedlow would be there as well. He was originally on his way to Seaton, to the east of here. And we know he came back through Saltmarsh after escaping the King's Justice in Seaton. That to me says he was moving west. If he is not still in Saltmarsh itself, I suspect he joined up with his co-conspirators there. If we are all agreed, I think that should be our first destination.
Krellick
At
raises a
least.
hand.
Insofar as this particular task is concerned. Yes, Krellick.
What? Who we killing? Which one?
Theoretically, both or all of them.
Well,
All
just
right.
1 second. I'm confused. I thought our contract from Jim Darkmagic said we were to bring Reedlow in alive.
I've reviewed my initial communique with Jim Dark Magic, and the exact wording, which, and Zashel looks over at Hymir and gives an acquiescing nod, is in like, you were right, I was wrong. Eliminate the threat to the company and franchise members.
Oh, well.
If we can bring him in, it becomes more of a, okay, don't like that. It becomes more important to ensure that there is no danger to either head office or members of any previous or current franchise of Acquisitions Incorporated. Now, the contract with Jim Dark Magic does specify only Reed Low as such a threat. However, I have a signed contract here, and he'll pull out the one that he created earlier, which is requesting the removal of Scarlet Brotherhood threats to Saltmarsh, requested by an interested party who has vacated the premises until such time as they feel safe to return.
Which one pays more?
But technically the second, but we can do both at the same time. The contract from Jim Dark Magic is not a contract in the standard employment situation. It is a direct order from our superiors to deal with a threat to our entire organization. And so despite it having no listed monetary reward, it, in terms of priority, supersedes all else.
Well, we're doing work and not getting paid for it.
We are receiving the recognition of one of the top founders of the company. So while nothing is enumerated, it does mean that, come company bonus times and bonus payouts and all that, that is certainly the attention we would like to catch. Now, given that the location is outside of Saltmarsh and currently not actually under the explicit ownership of any individual or organization, that would mean that any resources, riches, items, artifacts that we might find are what is the verbiage, and he'll air quote here, free for the taking. So
Okay,
you may think of it as a salvage rights operation on this group.
Right, so kill them all, take the shit.
The best kind of mission, I suppose.
I am ready to leave.
I guess I'm ready when you are. Yumi shrugs.
Zashel, where is this place? Do we have to take the? Can we take the turtle shell, or are we gonna have to find other means of transport?
The Tower of Xenopus is, remember the fucked up compass, west of here. I believe it is just on the other side of the bay, from not too far from Saltmarsh itself. Theoretically, we could travel overland. That would take more time. The turtle shell should be more than enough to take us there. We should... I do not wish to understate the implicit dangers involved in this mission. I know our usual work is not exactly safe. We have definitely we know the threats that have been made against
even council members by this organization. And they have a particular backing of several additional powerful entities, apparently, including the aforementioned wizard in town. This will be a down and out fight, I think you would call it.
Well, I mean, it'll be easier knowing that anything we see, we kill. So, you know, we don't have to worry about, like, oh, should I break the legs? Oh.
There is the entity who has signed this second contract. There is a certain extraction that would like... There is a person being held hostage.
Well, that'll be easy to see because they'll be the one hostage.
Yes. Just, you know, we need to make sure that we can retrieve them safely. Other than that, I am not sure that there is anything else that I am forgetting. Let me check my note.
Is Abernathy in the room right now?
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to walk up over to Abernathy, and I'm not trying to like say it so the room can't hear, but I'm like just addressing him.
Hey, Abby. What happened to Sonny? I haven't seen him since the day I was shitting.
He has left the company. He has removed himself from the island and from Acquisitions Incorporated's payroll. Well, not payroll, he was an intern, but employ.
Okay, why did he go?
Yes, I would wonder the same thing to know if there is room that we can make for improvement somewhere.
Well, poor boy lost his family some time ago to raiders and bandits, and thought it would have been a decent place here to have learned how to either defend himself or perhaps take on hero work, as is sort of in a way advertised to incoming interns. He was not altogether impressed with some of the overall behavior of many of the staff, and also his he did not appreciate the day of intoxication, should we say.
And Hamir stops writing for a second to kind of look over at this conversation, and then goes back to taking a couple of notes.
Listen, when you're out there fighting things, sometimes you get affected by weird substances.
Yumi,
What?
we can file that away for later discussion. He kind of eyes, like, head nods towards Samir. That is an issue we can discuss another time. Krellick, Yop, Lucky, if you are comfortable, I would prefer to leave B and Micah here, rather than have them... I mean, ultimately, the decision, Dasani, is yours. You are the decisionist. I would suggest leaving the two of them here. I feel this mission may be a little above their pay grade, so to speak, although they are not paid. So
Well, if I may, we will need someone to look after the tortoise shell.
Yep.
Perhaps I could give one of them my new ring, and after dropping us off, they could sail the ship back here.
that's a better idea, yes. We can always return over land, so once we won't have that particular.
I mean, I'll be able to bring us back home without an issue once we're there. I'm the cartographer, remember? She, Lucky, smiles and gestures to herself.
Yeah, but lucky you're not a boat.
I can enchant us back home.
That works for me.
Buy me a drink first, yeah?
She elbows you and grins.
Yappa is lucky.
I was gonna say. All right then, if we are all agreed.
Hamir, will you be joining us, or will you be staying here?
Oh, naturally, of course. This is the exact sort of opportunity that head office is interested in me documenting. The
Who did
Whisper
they s-
Jar is incredibly effective, by the way, and has taught us a great deal, but there is nothing like an eyewitness account.
Who did they send when you die?
Oh, that will not be an issue.
I give a look, a very thorough look over of Hamir to take in their potential capabilities.
He is small. He is. But he has across his back there is a very small, short staff that has some marks across it, and a mark across his leather breastplate.
And he, did he say his position in the company to us?
He did not specify, no.
Okay. Is there a specific name for the jobs? Are they all I guess role. I couldn't think of if there's a specific name that the grouping of the occultant and all that stuff falls under.
The positions, yeah.
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 Then I'll ask him.
What's your position in the company?
I am in.
Can I actually take time to look over all his paperwork now that I'm here?
Sure. Make an intelligence check with advantage.
Okay.
Everything is ordered properly. A lot of the paperwork he's provided to you is signed by him as well as another documancer, and then several other names that you can recognize as positions higher up. He says, by technicality, I am an obviator. I remove obstacles and difficult tasks and challenges. One of those things we should say is groups that don't work well together.
What's your current score?
I've been with the company now about 7 years. Approximate, I would assume, near 3,478.
Shit.
I'll just turn to the others.
I don't have that many skulls.
Soon, Creddy.
Speaking of, actually, as the occultant, I was informed about some of the miscalculations and recordings of some of the kills, particularly under your own name. Is that correct, Krellick?
Where'd you hear that? Who told that to you?
Well, someone who is as interested in my being here as I am, and my employer as well.
Does that someone have a name?
He grins. He actually asked that I come on his behalf. It was actually, he was initially elected to the position to come and witness whatever sort of operation it is you exactly run. It was offered that I take position instead of him for everyone else's safety. As I understand it, there was a direct threat made to him, and it was offered that if there were the event of an altercation, that I would be less likely to maim you beyond repair.
So, he plays at counting the beans, but he's really just a coward.
If you'd like, I can absolutely send a message to him. He could be here within the next 2 days.
Okay.
He makes a note. I look forward to seeing this.
Yeah, we may not be here in that time interval, depending on the time that this mission takes. If we are all ready, should we gather our things and go? Yes, time is rather important. There is a threat to the company, also a hostage, yes?
If we want to go by land, I can get us a cart. If not, everyone on the turtle shell.
Okay, let's go.
To the ship.
Yes. As everybody's getting on the ship, I will pull Hamir aside. Hamir, if I may have a moment with my team, there are a few items which I would... They are not Acquisitions Incorporated specific business. This is something of a... Zashel looks like he's going to be sick as he says the words personal business.
Make a persuasion check. You gonna keep it?
Fuck, I only have one inspiration. Do I use it? Yeah, I guess I'll stick with that. I don't want to burn my last inspiration already.
He raises an eyebrow and says, if it is so personal, then I believe that it can wait till another time. Or else, I can be in attendance.
No, you're right. You're right. Please. Get on the boat.
Alright. I'll just double check anything anyone would like to do before boarding the ship. Okay. You all get on the turtle shell. Oh, what? You all get on the turtle shell. You set sail. It is getting towards evening, and a few hours into the night, you come to the threshold of this of the bay, where you can, Zashel, you know about where the ruins are from your research and your investigations. You can tell Lucky, as the cartographer, who can assist in getting you there, navigating the path. But there is going to be some walking.
Yeah.
while we were on the boat trip there, I was going to pass along basically everything that I was told, or that I found out about both the tower and about Keldok.
And I'm assuming you don't say anything about Liru.
Correct. I will leave out the personal stuff. That's for later.
Okay. On a map. Let's turn on some darkness. And not do anything?
Can't see a thing.
I can see.
I can see everything. Yeah.
I can see a lot though. I think
I
there's like
can't see
daylight
anything
on
at
me.
all.
I believe it's past my dark vision.
Let's see. Is Ashel on the map? He's not on the map. That would explain it.
No, maybe not. This is kind of a small map.
Oh yeah, now I can see it.
Okay. Yeah, it's a small map.
Okay.
What's your vision like, Krellick?
My vision is 60. It should be 20 bright, 20 dim.
Yep, I've got you set for a daylight encounter, I think. There you go.
Yeah. Okay. I technically should have an additional 20 dim on top of that.
Oh, I thought I typed it in right. I did not. That it?
Yes. Yep.
Great. Okay, folks. Now, do you lead it to Lucky to navigate, or does someone else want to take advantage of that, such as possibly Dasani, who is an outlander and trained in survival?
Also, former cartographer.
Mm-hmm.
And also not the best at leading people.
You're the decisionist.
You'll be excellent.
I mean, obviously now I kind of have to, but I think it's just funny because last time I wandered off in the dark, I got stabbed in the neck.
You'll be fine.
It's your decision. You can make her do it.
Yeah, if you want, you can make Lucky do it.
Yeah, let's let Lucky show us what she's got.
Okay. Love that.
Coward.
Ooh.
Oh, she's upset.
She is lucky. She rolled a nat 20.
Nice.
Okay. Now, since she is preoccupied, I need a perception check from people who would be interested in keeping watch.
I believe
you
I still have disadvantage, correct?
You do for one more check.
I'm still gonna do it.
Hell yeah.
The other one was so good.
The other one was a nat 20.
It was so good. Alright, it's cool. I did this to myself.
All right. Zashel, in your heightened paranoia, and Yop, just being clever. There is around you as you walk the sound of brush moving, as if creatures are passing through and then stopping, holding. And then suddenly there are torches being lit and then extinguished, and you hear some sounds of whispered words and items and weapons being prepared. No surprise round. Let's get an initiative.
Oh, dang it.
This is well after we were all like crazy sick.
Well, after like a
So I
week
have my
later.
spells back.
Mhm.
Well, shit. But this is the same day that I went and saw Keldek.
Yes, yes,
Okay,
it is.
cool. I already rolled my daily spells. I would
Oh,
have cast the resulting mage armor before I got off the boat.
I didn't
Okay.
click my token, so I got a 3.
Okay, I gotcha.
Oh no.
I always forget.
Really hoping for a wild magic surge right now.
A turn and a 3.
So you can be a different element?
Mm-hmm. One in
Okay.
particular.
First in the order is Yumi, as tokens appear on the map.
No, I can't see anything if I'm supposed to see anything to shoot.
You might not.
I will hold my action to shoot something until I see it. Oh, were they supposed to just light up?
A couple of them did, yeah.
And I will shoot this one.
Hey.
All right, a 24 will hit, and then a nat 20 towards the same target, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
More arrows.
How? Didn't you buy a ton when you got your quiver?
I did, and then I used up half of it, and I have like 20 something left. I am gonna go back to town.
Okay. Anything else for your turn?
Nope.
Okay. Zashel.
I see the welcoming party has arrived. If you would prefer, we can all just accept your surrender now. And I will... I'm going to see how dexterous these people are, and I will Sacred Flame the same one that Yumi just shot.
Okay. Oh, did she hit that one or the one down here? I thought she was the one down here.
Oh,
This one.
whichever.
Oh, I hit this one up here. I can't see the one down there.
Oh, okay. All right. Cool.
One.
And you're targeting the same one?
Yeah, same person up here.
Okay. Incredibly dexterous, as it turns out.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. That's it. That's all I got.
Okay. Lucky looks around kind of confused in the dark, and then puts her hands into the air as you hear the rumble of thunder and hear the static of lightning above as she summons a storm. And let's see. Let's get meant to click the thing. Hold up. And a couple dex saves. Yeah. Both fail as an arc of electricity fires down and blasts against the two over here. Oh, there we go. And then a couple of them begin to move forward. Let's see. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 8. Actually, she'll stop here. And throw a dart at Yop for a 24 to hit.
Shield.
All right, cool. It clatters to the ground next to you. And then 1, 2, 8. Oh no. My thing is broken. Attack, then... Sorry, it's broken, so I had to fix it. Is going to then strike out at Lucky, who's right next to her, and and attempt to grapple and attack, but that does not do anything. Hamir calmly reaches to his back, catches his the short staff that he has, and as he pulls it from its holster, a soft glow and a light beats from either end as it extends into a long glaive, and he dodges. He'll hold an action because his job is to watch you guys. And then let's see. 1, 2, 3. That. And this one gets to here. Then there's a couple of crossbow bolts that come for Dasani, and then Vicaris, and then Lucky. Let's see. 14 to Dasani, a 10 to Vicaris, and then a 15 to Lucky.
Holy shit, did that miss me?
It did. Did that hit? I don't know if that hit you. What's your AC, Dasani? It's probably better than 14. No, it is a 14.
It is 14.
Okay, so you take 11 piercing damage.
Oh.
Nope, well, can't make it go away. Oh, that's fine. Thank you.
Kralik, your turn.
What are these people dressed like?
A couple of them are, well, they're all mostly wearing dark clothes, obscuring their faces pretty well, and some of them are lightly armored in leathers for sneaking, and some appear to be moving quite silently without armor. Period.
Yeah. Are they wearing any like noticeable symbols or anything identifiable like that?
Roll a perception check.
Sure. 14.
You see that one of them has a red band around their arm.
Cool. I don't know what that would mean. So, okay. All right. Tonight. Oh, okay. I see that there are, they're flanking us from behind and the side. But they got Yop there. Yop's gonna be fine. But these people, I don't want Lucky to get hurt, although Lucky, I'm sure, is also fine. But I will grab my axe and, my maul, and I'm gonna bound forward next to Lucky, and then I'm gonna jump, soar through the air and land behind this person, and then try to break their ankles. I'm gonna recklessly swing my my maul at them. Great. Yeah, this is the one. It would be 18 to hit.
Okay. That hits. Sorry, I'm fixing the thing that's broken, so I'm distracted. Yeah, that definitely hits. Yep.
Okay, cool. For 19.
Okay. Kind of knocks the wind, but still up.
Hell yeah. I'll swing the maul back down and try to remove their arm from its socket.
Cool.
17 to hit.
Well, that hits.
All right. For 22 bludgeoning.
It's very good.
Yeah. How are their bones looking?
Not great, but she kind of wrenches her arm forward and rolls her arm and shakes her hand out.
I'll hold them all in one hand, stick a clawed hand out, and like motion like the come at me. I'll give her the come at me motion, and I'll give her a thick saliva roar, and I'll go into a rage as a bonus action, and that'll be my turn.
Cool. Get out of here.
Vikaris, it's your turn. Okay, and these are yep, of choice. Wisdom saving throws. Excellent. Let's see. 1, 2, and 1, 2. Oh, you got one of each. All right. Anything else for your turn? Backing away. Okay. Yeah.
All right. Betty will swing down here, and Yop will swing around in here, and they will all take aim at that individual right there.
Okay.
I assume that's a miss.
Yes. As is a 14.
All right, Betty. Show me what you got.
Each one of these attacks comes at her pretty quickly, and she either knocks them away with like the sides with her arms, or is able to duck and dodge away from each of these attacks. Is that it for your turn?
That's it.
Okay. Dasani?
All right, I'm going to turn into a bear. A big bear.
Okay.
Oh, where'd you go? I can never make it bigger. There you go. Thanks, Sarah.
Yeah. I'm the only one who can make it bigger.
Oh,
So.
didn't
Yeah.
know that. Good to know. I was wondering why I could never do it. All right, and then I'm going to attack and bite this bitch right here. I can't seem to click on her. There we go.
Okay.
Oh. Chaw.
23 is gonna hit.
Nice. 12 piercing.
Okay. And do you have a claw attack?
I sure do. Wachaw. 19.
Okay. That's gonna hit.
14 slashing.
Okay. Okay. Good work, man. Those are good dice.
Nice.
Yeah. Is that it for your turn?
Yes.
Okay, then Yumi, you're up.
Yumi will step over slightly and shoot the one the bear was just fighting at.
Okay.
Hey.
25 and another nat 20. Excellent.
The nat 20 doesn't roll as well for damage, sad. But yep.
That's okay. Let's see, that's a total of 24. That is enough. Oh, wait, hold on. Let's see. The first of those arrows, she manages with a palm to strike out of the air without it hitting her. But grazes her just a little bit. She still takes the hit from the second. So that's So she's still up, but she's looking very wounded. Anything else for your turn?
Nope.
Okay, Zashel.
All right, I will. Who am I going to assist here? I will go ahead and move up behind Betty. Yeah. Which are the two that are slowed? The ones with the squiggle on them?
Yeah.
Okay. Then yeah, I will try to hit her with... actually, you know what? No. Instead of using Sacred Flame, Zashul will... I don't even know how a Yuan-ti poison sprays. I don't want to think about that right now, but that's what I'm doing. DC 15 con save.
Okay. That's a failure.
19 poison.
Alright, that's a good roll. Is that it for your turn?
Yeah. Just make sure none of them get away. We can't have them warning anyone.
And Lucky calls another bolt of lightning down against the one down here, but he bounces away without taking any damage. And then, let's see, we're going to have the one... Yes, the one up by Dasani strikes out with, just goes to punch you 3 times with a 19, a 22, and a 24. I think all of those hit. Okay, can you make me...
Wait, she's punching Dasani from in front of me?
No, there's one back here. There's one on his side that he's fighting.
Never mind. Okay.
Yeah.
Matt fist that flies across the room.
Yeah, I was like, yo, what?
Stretchy arms. Can I get a dexterity saving throw from Dasani? Alright, 17 saves. As one of her legs actually hooks around one of your paws and tries to pull you forward so you land on your chest, you're able to yank your paw back so that she cannot do this, but you're going to take a total of 27 points of bludgeoning damage.
Jeez.
She hit him 3 times. And then the one next to Yop is going to attack her just the once because...
Disadvantage?
Alright, with a 17.
That's a fail.
Excellent. And then the one next to Krellick is going to attack Krellick.
She has advantage?
Yep. 23, 14, 14.
23 hits.
Okay, can you make a Constitution saving throw?
You're gonna have to do a lot better than that.
That's a lot of nat 20s tonight.
Luckily, it was a nat 20. Whew.
Yeah. And 7 points of bludgeoning damage. She socks you across the jaw.
Hell yeah. Reduced to 3?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Hamir stays where he's at. And then, let's see. This one is going to get to here. And then to here. Okay. Dasani. 15 to hit.
I'm sorry. What was the last points for me that was taken? I messed up.
A total of 27.
27.
Mhm.
And then, okay, what did you say?
And then a 15 to hit.
No.
Nope. Okay. All right. And then, without provoking opportunity, this one steps back into the river, and then the one next to Yop strikes out with a short sword with a nat 20 to hit.
Oof.
Shield.
Okay. I believe though, a nat 20 hits regardless. That's the rule.
Oh, well, then I won't use the shield.
In that case.
For a total of... Oh, this is gonna hurt. Oh, this is gonna hurt. Oh, that's gonna hurt. Okay. A very quick and precise strike to a surprisingly, soft area around your neck deals... Oh, I gotta do math now. 23, 8... oh no. 36 points of piercing damage. And then a bonus action disengage and moving back here. And then likewise to Krellick, we're gonna pull the same move.
Yeah, with advantage.
Yep. Let's see, 23 to hit.
Yep.
And a 22 and a 17.
All hit.
Okay. Let's see. All right.
Can I cast Adam's shield?
Nice.
Okay, so I'll do these all separately for you. 29 for one hit.
Okay.
So
Okay,
have
so-
to
14 or 15?
14.
14. Okay.
And then 9 reduced to 4, and then 7 reduced to 3.
Okay. Cool.
And then bonus action disengage. Moving back here, and then Krellick, your turn.
Okay. I'll spit out a lot of blood, and this person, this ninja in front of me, how badly bent does their body look right now?
Pretty bent.
Pretty bent. Okay. It's pretty bent. Okay. Then I will I'll try to bend it some more. I'm gonna recklessly try to swing my maul at them again. With advantage. Okay. A 20 to hit.
That's gonna hit.
Okay, just right in the gut. For it'd be an additional 2 damage for rage, so 20.
Oh, that made it just barely enough to bend her in half, and she's dead.
Hell yeah. I rush forward towards this man who stabbed me very badly. 5, 10, 15, and I'll skid by him as I do bring the maul down with the bone as a bone. Actually, I had to continue my main attack to try to bring his legs out from under him. So I'm gonna do a trip attack, a shove, right?
Okay.
That 26
Okay, let's...
on my athletics.
A 26 acrobatics.
Son of a bitch.
No, that means you got it, just barely. Because you're the attacker.
Hey, I'm cool with that. I think it's supposed to be like a tie is nothing, but I will take him going down. I will take that.
Yeah, take one, yeah.
Man, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
I'll then use my bonus action to bring them all up very high and bring it down on their head, since I can use my Great Weapon Master feature.
Yes.
But the reckless effect still stays because I've used it.
Yes.
Okay. 17 to hit.
Barely hits, yep.
Okay, for 26 damage.
All right. Reduced. All right.
I will stand over top of him, growling. I'll turn my head to the side. I can kind of make out Yop's and Betty's form, and I kind of like flick my head between the two of them. But that's the end of my turn.
Okay, Vicaris. Are there microphone issues, Doug?
I think it was more user error, but
Okay, there you are. Hi.
hi again. This guy right here, did he go up and attack Dasani?
He did, yes.
And did he bonus action disengage?
He did, and he couldn't. You're right.
Yep.
If you'd like, Dasani, you can have taken a reaction to attack one who was trying to get away.
Okay. This guy?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. So I just get to attack him?
Yep.
Oh, perfect. Just throw that in there. 19.
That definitely hits.
5
Right.
piercing.
I am twinning Chaos Bolt to our little nukers over here. Sorry, that one too.
Uh-huh.
And boom, and boom. Ah, I'm gonna use an inspiration to switch that.
Okay.
All right, there we go.
Okay, both of those hit.
Awesome. Yep, still at first level. Oh my gosh, it goes off again. Fuck yeah. Let me get this. So that is 5 cold damage to him.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's gonna go off to the monk right next to him.
Yep.
How fucking lucky was that?
It's pretty good. That
Is
was
that
not.
another?
It's not lucky.
Okay, well I have 2 inspirations, so I will
Use
take
it.
my last one to cast
Use
out
it.
one more time. 16. Is that the monk?
16 hits.
Hell yeah. Okay, so this is the 17 against the second rogue or whatever, Master Thief.
Yes. Yeah.
Alright, and that is 1 plus 4. We'll do force damage. And then this
Okay.
is the one against the monk. 11. And that will be force damage as well.
And that blow to the chest kills her.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
Okay, any bonus actions?
Nope.
Okay. Yeah.
Ow. Yeah, nothing fancy for Yop, just attacking the monk right in front of her.
Uh-huh. 13 will miss. Oh no, another nat 1, no. Betty action? Oh no!
God.
Oh my goodness.
Krennic, where did you get this trident from?
I found it from a fish man.
You do know we're being watched, right?
Dasani?
Oh, sorry. I'm weird.
Don't trident shame me, Vicaris.
I'm just gonna continue to attack this guy.
Alright, you can move up to him.
Yeah. Shoot.
Yep.
Oh. 11.
11 misses.
Oh no, good thing I have another one. Hey!
Oh.
Natural 20's gonna hit.
Get at me. 6 plus 7 slashing.
Excellent. Okay. Can't do anything about that. Alright, cool. Is that it for your turn?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yumi.
What does people watching have to do with getting a trident from a whatever? And Yumi will shoot us. She lost her train.
Okay. 16 hits. And 28 hits. Alright. Oof. Okay. Alright. Is that it for your turn?
That is.
Okay, Zashel.
I will start out with another poison spray on the same one.
Alright. 17 against.
We'll save.
Oh, yeah.
And then I will draw the... What is that dagger we have called? Magic's Rush.
Yeah.
And I will just move up.
Okay. Okay. Well, that changes what Lucky was gonna do. She just shouts, incoming! As a lightning bolt strikes the one prone down here, but is still going to require that Krellick make a dex save.
What? It's the 10.
It's the 10. Okay. Oh no, that dude rolled well though. Okay, so it's 16 lightning damage, but it's still halved for you.
So 8. Okay.
Yep, 8. And okay, and I've got one of these dudes left. Let's go. Well, there's one attack, so we're just gonna hit. Yeah. 24 to hit. Oh man.
Shield.
There you go.
Actually, before I do that, it's a disadvantage.
Okay, 17.
I'll keep that spell slot then.
Has a... Oh, yeah, okay, all good. Was double checking the reactions that Betty had. And then... This guy's gonna get up from the ground. And... disengage. And... Let's do a... dash? Yeah, we're gonna dash 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There you go. And then this one's going to move to here. And then stab Zashel. Let's go 21, an 11. Zashel, a 21 and an 11.
The 21 hits, the 11
Yeah.
misses, and the natural 1 misses.
Yeah, 5 piercing damage. And then the one up here is going to now attack Dasani with a 25. Yeah, the bear. A 25, a 9, and a 14 to hit. Dasani, does the 14 hit?
I lost my page, sorry.
It does hit.
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry, it's just came out. There we go.
You're good. All right, for a total of 30 points of damage.
Jeez.
How's your bear form holding up?
Not.
Oh, you are no longer a bear.
No longer.
It's just a boy now. No bear, just a boy. And then Krellick, you're up.
I see my guy, like, he runs very quickly. That guy running away from me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he moves real quickly into the darkness. I take a step towards him, and my turtle eyes narrow, and I judge the speed. I'm like, it's too fast. too fast. And I turn around, but I'm fast enough. And I'm gonna start charging towards Yop, and I can actually make it. I'll cut a long diagonal to come between Yop and Betty, and as I get close, I'm gonna reach. What was that?
I said I don't think you'll ever get between Yop and Betty.
It's already begun.
Wow.
I'd like to just reach forward and grab a hold of this person, and then like put my hand on their head, and then try to force them to the ground.
Okay.
So I'm gonna do a shove, 25.
It's pretty close, but you get it.
Ooh, yeah. I'll then look at Yop, grab a hold of their clothes, look at Yop, look at them, and say,
Did Yop, did she hurt you?
Adam, you there?
Yeah, not so much her as her friend, but none of them are very nice.
No, they are not.
I'm gonna punch this lady in the face.
Okay, cool.
Okay, I don't. Oh, she's on the ground. Okay. 16 to hit.
Will hit.
Heck yeah. I don't. Does this qualify for the extra damage? Right, when you make a weapon attack that uses strength. Are my claws classified as weapons?
They are.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're natural weapons.
For 10.
Okay.
That's my turn. I'm just punching her while she's on the ground now.
Yeah, claws across the face. If she lives, she'll be scarred, but she's not gonna make it. Vicaris.
I was gonna try and hit the one that right away from Krellick, but I'm also like, forget that.
We can't let them escape.
Oh, if he yells that, can I? Yeah, I can see him.
I've yelled that several times already.
Yeah.
Okay, well, boom. 3rd level Chaos Bolt. Fuck it, let's make this happen. 15.
Misses.
Does Lucky give me the D4 thing?
Nope, not only when you guys are over water.
Can I give him my 1 inspiration?
You can.
Hell yeah.
I got
Oh my god!
And so it was.
No, that's a dumb idea. I'm not gonna do that. Okay, that's my turn.
Okay.
I was gonna start chasing after him, but that's not my job.
Okay. Yup.
Do I have advantage on this dumb monk?
Yes.
Yop's gonna go ham, just screaming, "Why won't you people stop stabbing me?"
19 hits. Just the 7, right?
Just a 7.
Okay. 22 will hit. Excellent. Okay. Anything else? 15 misses.
Betty, get it together.
Yeah, get it together, Betty.
Dasani, it's your turn.
Alright. I don't want to die. Go for this guy right. I'm gonna do a nice knife. Oh, seriously.
Oh, another nat 1. Yikes.
Fuck.
Any bonus actions for you?
I'm gonna move back.
This party sucks.
Hella.
Okay. Okay, Yumi.
Dang, I haven't missed an attack roll yet.
I will hit this guy.
Okay.
Oof.
Oh no. 23 is gonna hit.
First miss.
What is that? Is that 6 nat 1s in this fight?
More than that.
That is all I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Zashel?
Oh no, you're at 6. Fuck it, let's keep the poison sprays going.
Okay. Let's
And I will pull out another dagger, a regular dagger.
okay. Fails the con save.
Fuck! I meant to give Vicaris the ring. After this fight, I'll do it.
Okay, cool.
Ring of Small Magic. Once per day after rolling to hit, you can choose to add 5 to a spell attack or else to the spell save DC. Ring recharges at dusk. These are the items that we got from Titania that we never really, like, I mean, we never really re-doled them out afterwards.
Yep.
Lucky fires another lightning bolt after the escaping thief, and you hear a scream as they're struck. She does a little fist pump, and then the slowed monk on the ground gets up and swings rather futilely at Betty for a 14 to hit.
Yeah, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
How dare you swing at Betty like that?
Okay. And then we're going to attack Zashel. As the other dude sprints another, 90 feet something? Yep, that's as far as another 90 feet away. Okay, Zashel. The one who only had one attack for his turn rolled a natural 20.
Okay.
For a total of 39.
Yikes.
Hoo boy!
And the second one's going to attack a 16
That will hit.
for
Wait, hold on. What does Mage Armor actually give me again?
a
Never
13
mind.
plus
Yeah,
your dex.
yeah, no, that still hits.
Okay. For a total of 22.
Is that from one attack or two?
1.
Okay.
I'm
unconscious.
Yeah. Okay. And then 1, 2, 4. We're gonna stab Yop again. With a 12 and a 23 to hit.
Shield on that 23.
All right. Excellent. And then Krellick.
Okay. Okay. I will, okay, I'm gonna take my maul and try to bend this person's head backwards. I'm gonna recklessly attack them. This is the monk that hurt my Yop. 20 to hit. That'd be 26 damage to them.
And they are dead.
Hell yeah. I shove them over with the maul. Step right between Betty and Yop, blocking their sight from one another. I'll swing at the guy who hit Yop for sure. Okay. 19 to hit.
19's gonna hit.
Okay, 22.
Yep.
Zashel's looking bad though.
Zashel is unconscious on the ground.
Yeah. Okay. I will risk it and then run past him towards this other guy.
Okay. And that didn't hit.
Hell yeah, the risk pays off. I killed someone, so I'll use my bonus action to attack this guy, and try to let him know who's, get through me. Oh, it's good.
That's gonna hit.
Not double rage, but 27. Yeah, pretty good.
27 knocks his block off.
Oh, fuck yeah. I'll quickly turn and put one hand on Zashel's body as I begin to drag him away. I think I have 5, 10, 15, 25. I can get him to roughly around here with me.
Okay.
Cool.
The cars?
Sorry, I was looking at something else. And there is one guy left.
Uh-huh.
And there's no other way to get to the other guy.
The other guy is 90 feet off the map.
I'm just saying, he's still alive.
No problem.
How would you like me to fight him?
I had light and could see him. I have that range, but I do not have light.
Aren't they carrying torches?
We're gonna firebolt him.
Not him, no.
18.
18 will hit which one?
Question: how are they seeing?
Yeah, I don't think I could see the other guy. That's well beyond my dark vision.
Some of them are giving some. Well, first of all, one of you is wearing a light, and then some of them are carrying lights, but not all of them. And you can just run blind in the dark.
Right, I don't think I can see the guy that ran away though, because
I wouldn't know the direction.
it doesn't go that far, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna hit this guy.
Okay. For 12. All right. Is that it for your turn?
Yeah.
Okay. Yup.
Oh, yeah, no.
Yop presses the tip of her trident into a socket in the back of her shield, and when she pulls it back out again, it is glowing red hot. And that's the branding smite, and then I'm gonna attack this dude.
18 will hit for 6 plus.
Yeah, and I no longer have advantage, and that's just a 9 on that.
All right. You spear this guy, the 3 prongs vertically through his chest, and you hear 2 cracks as it pierces 2 layers of bone, and this one dies.
Okay, well, do 8 points of damage to his corpse then, because fuck him. And Betty will just kick his corpse. It's not a full-on attack, but Betty's not happy either.
All right, cool. We're gonna hold initiative until the Zashel issue has been resolved. Dasani, your turn.
Is there any more people?
There's no more people, but Zashel is unconscious.
Oh.
There is one, but we don't know where they are because we can't see them.
Got it, gotcha, yeah. Hey, let's all agree when Zasha wakes up, we tell him we got him.
Kind of like your luck.
I will cast Cure Wounds. Zashel. Oops.
Ooh.
9.
9 plus 4.
Oh, plus 4, yeah.
So 13.
Here you go, bud.
Oh, that hurt. That hurt a lot.
You don't look so good.
Fuck.
I'll extend a hand to help you up.
Thank you, Krellick.
You got
So-
to be more careful.
Yeah, I didn't expect them both to turn around like that.
Hey, way to go, Dasani.
Thanks, man, but I'm pretty beat up myself.
And how'd we do? What happened after I went down?
We killed more of them.
Unfortunately, one of them got away.
That is unfortunate. We can expect them to be a little more forewarned that we're coming now.
Is the one with the red armband still here?
Yeah.
I'll go over to them and like pull their face coverings away.
It just looks like someone probably local to Seaton still, based on some of the like facial features and appearance, but not anyone specific.
I'll check the neck and hands for tattoos.
They've got their girlfriend's name on their wrist.
Ew, Sarah. Ew.
I'd like to search the bodies for anything that makes a stronger connection to either the Scarlet Brotherhood or any information that they were looking for us specifically.
Roll investigation.
Hey, Vicaris, you should take this. You'll need to spend some time to link to it, but it will do you way more good than it does me.
Sarah, does it look weird?
The ring?
Yeah.
Let me
It's-
double check.
They made it's a simplistic, small braided thumb band of copper, silver, and gold.
Oh,
It's
if
a
it's
magic
Fae,
item.
then I'll immediately like it. Yeah. If it wasn't from the Fae, then I had to determine if it looked weird or.
It was a gift from Chandria.
Oh, thanks.
A
Um,
19. Oh, what?
Sorry, nope. Go ahead.
Okay.
That's it.
A 19 pulls a coded message, some empty vials, and there's the one red armband. And that's it.
Zashel, can you make heads or tails of this? And I'll hand him the coded message.
Can I make heads or tails?
Roll an intelligence check with advantage.
That armband. Oh my god!
Wow.
I hate this game. I don't want to play anymore.
Get wrecked, dude. Get wrecked.
How?
That's where
Wow.
we end this.
Zashel, the code's on the other side of the paper. What are you doing?
I think it's the head wound, or I might be bleeding out of one of my eyes. We'll just save it for
Oh,
later.
I'm so sorry.
Here, I have a potion. Do you want this? And Yumi pulls out a potion from her bag that has a label written on it that says "Not Grynar" from how many months ago?
Oh!
Like I remembered it was a thing, but
That's a callback from like 8 months ago. Christ.
oh
Wow.
You never had to.
Yeah. Yeah.
god. I appreciate that, but maybe hold on to it for when I'm unconscious or something, in case Dasani is also down.
I have another one, so maybe we can keep this on you so someone can pour it down your throat.
Man, looking around, it seems like several of us are not doing very well. Perhaps we should take a moment here and collect ourselves.
I mean, do we have the time? One of them got away, so we can.
Yeah, but
Be
we
sure
ain't
that
catching
they-
him.
No. I realize that, but if he has any sort of there are definitely other members of his group around, so we can be sure that they know that we are here and will probably come in further numbers.
Well, they better bring a lot more than this.
I can make us move pretty fast and get a pretty good advantage point.
If we can find a safe place to do so, that would be ideal. One day I will be able to. Anyway, yes, if we can find a safe place to go, that would work.
Are we not interested in finding that guy?
I mean, if you think you can catch him, can you cast it on all of us?
I can cast it on Tool.
Mm,
Ability to track?
yeah. that's what I'd say.
No, an ability to fly. It would make us much faster, and also we'd probably have a good vantage point to see him.
Well, whoever goes, they need to be able to see, right?
Yeah,
Also,
that would require splitting us, and I think it's safe to say if there are any sort of tunnels or hidey holes or anything like that, it would be very difficult to find him.
Okay, thought I'd try.
I mean, I would love to, but I think the resources are better saved.
Sure.
I mean, it's ultimately not my decision, so.
Set the Sani.
I mean, I'm not arguing for it to be, so I was just, we can move on.
I think we should collect ourselves like Yop had said. All in favor? And he raises his hand.
I'll follow Dasani's lead and Krellick will raise his hand.
Karis will raise his hand. He's like, okay.
I guess, sure.
Yop raises her hand.
As long as we're not doing it right here, sure.
What would be a good spot?
Do we see like anything that's out of the pathway that might look safer to rest?
Roll a survival check.
Hey.
Glad someone can roll tonight.
A little ways off from where you are, Dasani, you can find a place that is well covered, is against a hill, and has some stones that provide obfuscation.
Hey, look! Check out over here. And he motions for everyone to follow.
Hamir says, due to the hour and the lighting condition, and considering as it would appear many of your number have difficulty seeing in the dark and must carry light, are you going to then press through the evening, or are you going to rest properly?
What time is it? Like, we landed, and
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
in retrospect, if it had been like super dark, I would have suggested waiting till day, but
It wasn't super dark when you landed, but it is getting towards about 10 p.m. now, or later.
Yeah, I think a short rest would be ideal.
Short rest or long rest, fellas? Let me
Well,
get that for my notes.
Yeah, at this point, it seems like we may as well just long rest.
Long rest, yeah. Agreed.
And how would you like to go about setting watch, if you would like to do so?
I only need 4 hours, so I'll take first or last.
Yop will take the first watch.
Or first and last.
I can
Matt,
take
you can
a watch
take
in
one
there
watch.
somewhere also. The people with no dark vision should probably just rest.
I got my diver's helmet on. I'm fine.
Yeah, I didn't mean you.
You know, just traipsing through the jungle with a diver's helmet on, like one does.
Perfect.
Yeah, perfectly normal. I'll drag one of the bodies to our campsite and just kind of leave it in the trees nearby. And I'll tell the group
I'm gonna need that in the morning.
Okay.
Okay, so no one eat it. Just being clear.
The night passes uneventfully. Those who watch notice that Hamir does not sleep the whole time. He is both watching the horizon and then occasionally watching all of you. And we'll pick up next week in the morning.
That
Cool.
armband
Mhm.
that they found, is it something dumb Vakars would want to collect?
Yeah.
Sweet. Is there a special name for the armband?
Bandit's marking, I guess.
Love that.